All right, Shalom, first and foremost, all thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, WabrakakWadash. Peace, blessings, and much respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, on down to the rest of the elders who rule well within Israel. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like. Pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well. You men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons and daughters also. The water, which means thank you to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the world of Israel and the world of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. Now, this is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5 and verse 24. Some men's sins are open beforehand, going before to judgment, and some men they follow after. So concerning judgment, let's touch on that first. Do people have to die then burn in hell before they can receive their punishment? Absolutely not. Earth is the place of judgment. Hell is here on earth right now. Okay? Let's hold this and go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, and verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, and that place is earth. Now, this isn't speaking of being underground, burning in hot fire and hot lava, and screaming forever and ever as gargoyles poke at you with pitchforks and all the above. Okay? Judgments get played out here on earth. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. So you have wickedness and righteousness happening here on earth. The righteous are the Israelites. Among our people, you'll find iniquity. You'll also find the wicked, the children of the wicked, being Esau. You'll also see wickedness going on in our land. Okay? Seeing our land is supposed to be an upright place for an upright people, you have a lot of wickedness taking place there. But here on earth, nevertheless, good and bad happens here. This is the place of judgment. Okay? Your spirit needs flesh in order for it to be punished. So earth being the place of judgment, this is where judgments take place. And concerning what these heathen have done unto us, they have not received their judgment just yet. Their judgment will come. Okay? 1 Timothy 5 and 24. Some men's sins are open beforehand. So sometimes you can do wrong and get punished for it right away or in that same lifetime. Some men's sins are open beforehand, going before to judgment. And some men they follow after. So what's been done to the children of Israel, starting with Esau and the rest of these nations, they haven't been paid for that. But in the world to come, they're going to pay for that. Their wrongs are going to follow them to the next life. And in the world to come, they are going to be subjected under the nation of Israel. Likewise, also the good works of some are manifest beforehand, and they that are otherwise cannot be hid. So whether your works are good or evil, your works are going to be manifest. Sometimes you'll get rewarded for the good you do now, or you may have to wait concerning another time, another life. But this is how the Lord operates. So when you look at these heathens, they'll try to justify what's happened to our people by saying, well, that wasn't me. I wasn't there. But you were there, and that was you. And us Israelites, we might say things like, well, we weren't slaves. We weren't there. Yes, you were. Okay, even more so, seeing that you're here in America. That happened here in America. And you're brought back here in America again in a different time period. And what's been done to you in your past life, which you don't remember, a recompense has not come yet, but it is coming. Okay. Psalms 104 and verse 29. Thou hidest thy face, they are troubled. Thou takest away their breath, they die, and return to their dust. Thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created, and thou renewest the face of the earth. So when people die, their spirit comes back. They're renewed. They're replenished. Okay? There is nothing new under the sun. The scriptures tell you that there is nothing new under the sun in the book of Ecclesiastes. When people die, they come back when the Heavenly Father sends them back, usually every 3 and 4 generations. Okay? So there are people who are here right now who were slave masters. And if they weren't slave masters, they had some advantage in some kind of way over us being in slavery. And you have people right now who are actually slaves, walking here in America, walking here on earth, who have no remembrance of their past. But if they could have a vision of how they were treated in slavery, they'd want vengeance. But many Israelites have been rocked to sleep. They have Stockholm syndrome. Okay? Let's touch on the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 25 and verse 4. But he slew not their children, but did as it is written in the law in the book of Moses, where the Lord commanded, saying, the fathers shall not die for the children, neither shall the children die for the fathers, but every man shall die for his own sin. So no one's going to be punished for the actions of others. So you Edomites, you so-called white people who are here today, you're not going to be punished for the wrongs of your forefathers who were not you. You're going to pay for the wrongs of your forefathers whom ye were. Okay? Those sins, those wrongs are going to follow you. But you're not going to pay for the wrongs of others. Let's go to Jeremiah 32 and verse 18. Thou showest loving kindness unto thousands, and recompenseth the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children. So how does it say, in one hand, you're not going to pay for the iniquities of your fathers, but this scripture is saying you are going to pay for the iniquity of your fathers? What that means is, concerning your forefathers whom ye were not, you're not going to pay for the wrongs they've done. But your forefathers whom ye were in your past life, you're going to pay for those. Okay? Thou showest loving kindness unto thousands, and recompensest the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children after them. The great, the mighty God, the Lord of hosts is his name. So you Edomites, you're going to pay. All the wickedness you've done when we were enslaved in hardcore slavery, had yokes of iron around us. Men were being buck broken. Men were being, treated less than nothing. The women would watch the man be broken. You broke our women. You broke up our families. But y'all haven't paid for that yet. And you've had all this time to do it in terms of making it right. You've had all this time to do that. And you have not done that because it's not in your spirit to do so. It's not prophecy that Esau would save us. Esau is the devil. Esau is the wicked. Their job is to oppress the righteous, the saints. Okay? Now, concerning our people, they may try to save these devils. Many of our people come in the father's spirit, their father's spirit, their father being the devil. John chapter 8 and 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. So many of our people, they're of their father the devil. They act like Esau. They support Esau. They're a comfort unto Esau. And Esau hates them. He was a murderer from the beginning, going all the way back to Cain, who slew his brother, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. And many of our people are in that same spirit. They're not walking in truth. They're walking according to lies. They're justifying these devils. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And many of our people come in that same spirit, seeing that they're of their father the devil. They're actually trying to save their father the devil and the rest of these heathen. Proverbs 11 and 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So that goes to show you this is about the seed. The seed of the wicked, they're going to be punished. The seed of the righteous, being the chosen of Israel, they're going to be delivered. So as much as our people try to save these devils, they're not going to save them, because it is in their destiny. It is in their future. It is in their judgment to pay for what they have done. Their wickedness is going to follow them. Their punishment has not happened to them yet. Okay? All the bloodshed that they've caused from slaying our people, that has not been brought back upon them. That's what justice is. Okay? Let's go to Revelations. Chapter 16 and verse 6. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. So it's going to be blood for blood. They've been shedding our people's blood for years, killing our people, lying to our people, poisoning our people. And there hasn't been any recompense for that. Not yet. But it's coming. In the world to come, these nations are going into slavery because their wrongs are going to follow them. They have not paid for that yet. Okay? America can't be saved. America has too much blood. Let's go to Numbers 35. In verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. You know how much blood has been shed here in the land of America concerning our people? How Esau has done so much damage to our people, even just coming here on them slave ships. How many of our people had to die? Millions of Israelites died just on the slave ship getting here. Okay? So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. America's defiled. Okay? And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So there's too much bloodshed here on America. The saints have been killed and persecuted. America has done so much wickedness, and America's going to pay for that. America can't be saved. Neither those who are over it, being the Edomites. Okay? You got to pay. You got to have your blood shed because you've been shedding blood in masses of numbers. Okay? America's too defiled to save it. If it was possible for her to be healed, she would be healed, but she can't be healed. Okay? So this land's going to be destroyed right along with you devils and the rest of you nations who have played a part in enslaving the Israelites. You're also going to go into slavery right along with Esau. Okay? Let's go to Psalms chapter 50. Psalms chapter 50 and 16. But unto the wicked, being Esau, God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? They're hypocrites. Here it is. It's in their power to set up righteous laws, and they don't do it. It's in their power to punish those who are doing wickedness, and they don't do it because they're hypocrites. Okay, it's not in them to do righteousness. Verse 17, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee. They'll swear on the Bible and then break every law in the Bible. They claim to follow instruction, but they hate instructions concerning the Heavenly Father. When thou sawest a thief, which Esau himself is a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. So in this society, Esau rewards wicked people, man. It's in Esau's power to bring judgment on those who are living wickedly, but he doesn't. Instead, he'll reward them, or he'll just do what he feels really at the end of the day. Okay? They don't have righteous judgment. You have men all the time getting played by a woman, she'll commit adultery on him and then divorce that man and then take all of his money because Esau justified that. Okay? You'll have a man who's locked up in prison doing 15, 20 years because he was caught with cannabis. But another man, he'll be getting out in 10 years who got locked up for manslaughter. Okay? The ways of Esau are unjust. He justifies wicked people when he decides to justify them. They are the wicked, okay? Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. They're liars. And anyone who follows after them, you are of your father the devil. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. And all they do is think about Israelites, slandering us. Okay? Really, it's a jealousy thing. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, because all the wickedness you've done, you haven't been recompensed for it, so you feel like it's all good. But remember, there are things that you do that are wrong that may follow you into another life. You may have to pay for it in a life after, or whatever life the Lord sees fit, because the Heavenly Father moves like that. No one escapes anything. If Yahushua didn't pay your tab, you not gonna make it. And concerning you heathen, he didn't die for y'all. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. You've had all this power to just kill, steal, destroy, do all this wickedness, and you're still able to do it. So you feel like, well, if God was really against me, he would have stopped me by now, but he must be with me, you know? Plus you believe he looks like you. You believe the only begotten son looks like you. All the angels and apostles and prophets look like you. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. So Esau's not going to escape punishment. They're going to pay for their wrongs one way or another. Ezekiel chapter 18. In verse 10, if he begot a son that is a robber, a shedder of blood, and that doeth the like to any one of these things, like Esau Edom, like their race of people have done, and that doeth not any of those duties, but even hath eaten upon the mountains and defiled his neighbor's wife, and Esau will also justify adultery, okay? Hath oppressed the poor, like Esau's doing, and needy, hath spoiled by violence, like Esau has done, hath not restored the pledge, like Esau, and hath lifted up his eyes to the idols, hath committed abomination, like Esau, hath given forth upon usury, like Esau, and hath taken increase, like Esau. Shall he then live? He shall not live. He hath done all these abominations. He shall surely die. His blood shall be upon him. Now, this is speaking about us Israelites, but this applies to the heathen. Okay? Especially Esau, because he's taken upon our laws. Hell, you even have them claiming to be Jews. Okay? They're swearing on the Bible in court. Certain presidents have sworn in on the Bible, all these different things, and they don't even apply the scriptures. Because if they did, they would know the wrong that you do, you got to pay for that. You have to pay for your own wrongdoings. Okay? And the fact that you oppress and hate the Lord's people, you're going to pay for that. All the violence you've caused to the Lord's people, to the earth in general, but starting with the Lord's people, you have to pay for that. Psalms 55:2. Attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make a noise. Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. So we are hated and we are oppressed by these goddamn devils. And you have our people trying to justify them because they'll smile in their face. How does someone being nice mean they can't hate you? How does someone smiling in your face mean that they're not the devil? You mean to tell me serial killers haven't smiled in people's faces? A lot of times when you hear about serial killers after they get caught, people who have met them, they say things like, oh, he was so nice. I never saw him doing that. You know, our people get rocked to sleep because Esau's being nice. And really being nice goes into being naive. If you be nice to somebody, you can cause them to be naive. You can rock them to sleep and then put that knife in their back. That's how these devils operate. Okay? Just because they speak nice and kind, they're effeminate by nature. Okay? But just because they speak nice and kind does not mean they don't hate you. And they're not the ones setting up laws oppressing our people. They're the ones making life fucking hard. Okay? Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. So we are hated. And because they hate us so much, they've done all these wicked things unto us. They think they're going to get away with it. And they're not. Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So they oppress, they hate us, and through their hate, they have done a lot of violence to our people. They have slaughtered many Israelites throughout the days, man. Okay? A whole lot of Israelites have been done dirty because of these devils. You have Israelites still being lynched. Okay? You have Israelites being snatched up, sold into some sex trafficking ring, being sold for organs. Okay? Still being looked at as monkeys, wetbacks, okay? Coons, niggers. These heathen don't like us. Even the ones who claim to like us, they got to be an Israelite, because if they not an Israelite, deep down, they don't give a damn about you. It's not in them to. Okay? You going to take the Lord's word over them? For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So all the wickedness that y'all have done towards the Israelites, you have to pay. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. What has Esau sown? Oppression, death, slavery, injustice, hatred towards Jacob. Well, you're going to reap what you sow. Okay? Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So guess what you've sown? You've sown oppression, captivity, evil over the Lord's people. So you're going to have to be faced with the same thing. And the rest of you heathen as well. But starting with Esau. The base man's the head right now of the heathen. Revelations chapter 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. We've been led into captivity. Okay? We've been led into captivity by the Hamites, by the Ishmaelites, by the Edomites. Man, we've been led into captivity by all these nations. All these nations have come together through some type of confederacy to oppress the Israelites. That's why we don't have no seat in the United Nations. Okay? That is not for us. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So Esau's at the head right now. Starting with him. He's going into captivity because the wrongs that he has done, it's just following him until the day comes that he's judged for it. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And Esau's blessing is the sword. Okay? When Peter pulled his sword out and chopped off that man's ear because Yahushua was being snatched up, Yahushua let Peter know to basically put that sword away, because he that lives by the sword is going to die by the sword. That's Esau's blessing. They're going to die. Their time will come. Okay? But right now, we have to be patient. We can't be putting our faith in the sword. That's Esau's blessing. They're going to do each other in. Okay? And Yahweh Shai had to be that sacrifice also. But the fact that Peter had that sword and chopped that man's ear off, it shows you the type of men Yahweh Shai was walking with. He was walking with men who would die and kill for him. That's a friend. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So you reap what you sow. Okay? So the reason why you devils haven't been put in slavery yet, well, your wrongs are going to follow you until the day comes that the Lord decides to slam the hammer and bring forth judgment. And that's what's coming to all you goddamn heathen and all you wicked Israelites who try to justify them and, make it seem like there's some good ones out there. You're going to die with them. Okay? But I'm going to close it with this. Lamentations 5:7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. So your fathers who have sinned, being you in your past lives, have done evil towards the Israelites. But those who have done evil to us in those days are dead. They don't exist, so to speak, because they're back here in another life to bear the burden of all the wicked things that you've done. Concerning what's happening with America, all the wickedness and evil that you devils have done is catching up to you until ultimately you're thrown in hardcore slavery under the Israelites. And it's going to be brutal. It's going to be terrible, terrifying. It's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be intolerable, unbearable, insufferable. But you're going to go through it, and you're going to drink all of that. Okay? All of it. All of your forefathers who've sinned, which includes the lives you've lived, they're dead. But you're back now, and your judgment's coming. Okay? Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. So this goes for everybody. Everybody who's done wrong, things can follow you into your following life. Okay? And that's exactly what's coming to you heathen, starting with Esau on down. All the wickedness y'all have done in the past when we were enslaved, all those slave masters, all those people that did us wrong have died. But they're back here today, and they're going to bear all the wickedness they've done. And they will suffer horribly, all right? So with that, all praises unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Wa Rakakwadash. I'm out. Shalom.